A big hello and a very warm welcome to a special travel series, Visit Victoria, partnered by ET Now. My name is Sonali Krishna and I'm going to be taking you on a journey across Victoria. Victoria, as the smallest mainland state in southeastern Australia, is quickly earning a reputation for its breathtakingly diverse attractions, picturesque natural wonders, and a bustling food and wine scene. From Melbourne as the hub of urban artistry to the glorious grape-laden vineyards in the Yarra Valley, from the lush green Central Highlands in the Grampians to the deliciously panoramic coastal towns along the Great Ocean Road. Victoria is every bit different. We begin our journey en route to Yarra Valley. We head to the countryside on Australia's oldest steam railway, the Puffing Billy, to arrive at St. Hubert's, one of the finest wineries established in Australia. After lunch at their Quarters restaurant, we sit down for a chat with the business manager, Tony Layton. I'd like to start with, the history of the estate. I believe it's one of the oldest estates in the Yarra Valley. So give me some perspective.
Yeah, so St. Hubert's as a brand has been around since 1862.
Oh, wow.
So first established by a gentleman called Hubert de Castella, who was a Swiss migrant who came out to the Yarra Valley and established the vineyard. Was actually on the other side of the road when he first arrived, and those cellars are actually still there, which is kind of fairly interesting. We were re-established in the 60s, and then this beautiful building that we are in now, that came 2 years ago.
Oh, brand new.
So pretty much brand new, yeah, which has been really great for the brand because it's, introduced this new vigour around a lot of the wines, and, we've got lots of people coming internationally and domestically to visit us. So, yeah, it's great.
I see. Just to flash back a bit about the Yarra Valley, what is so special about the Yarra Valley, in the Victoria region?
Well, the Yarra Valley is historically is obviously really important. Dame Melly Melba had the property next door, Coombe Farm, so there's a bit of a historical connection to that. The Yarra Valley is only an hour out of Melbourne, so you can day trip out here, which I think is really great for the region. The region as a wine growing region is very much a cool climate region. It produces wines that are really high class. We get hot summers, we get cold winters, so we do have 4 seasons. Which makes it even more interesting from a visitor perspective to come and visit.
Yeah.
If you don't like hot weather, come down in the wintertime and and explore the region.
Yeah. So, what kind of wine actually emanates from the region in terms of the differentiation?
The varieties? Yeah. So historically, back when St. Hubert's had this 100 hectares of vines, we were predominantly planted to Cabernet and to Marsanne and Roussanne, which are quite textural white wines. With the second coming in the 60s, the vineyards all got replanted to Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. So now we have a really interesting choice or variety of different wine styles within the region. So on the lower lying vineyards where we are here, you get Cabernet and Shiraz based wines, whereas up in the hills you tend to get more delicate, aromatic, kind of lifted wines. So there's kind of something for everybody in terms of, the wine styles and food matching as well. There's obviously different wines which compare and work with different foods from different pockets of the region.
How does it compare to, many of the wine tasting places or vineyards that you have across the world? What does St. Hubert's Estate offer?
Yeah, I think we're quite unique here in that we have cellar door, where you can come and taste wines. You can have cheese and charcuterie in here. You can have an experience based within the cellar door building. But you've also got quarters, which is the restaurant on site here, which you can go and have a meal there. There's an event space which does weddings, which is all separate again.
Oh, okay.
And there's also an Indigenous art gallery below us. So there's a multitude of reasons to come and visit the estate, and you could potentially come one day and just visit the cellar door. You could come another time and visit the restaurant. You might attend an event here, etc. So I think in terms of usage, the property has so many different touch points and aspects that you could kind of come and explore.
Also, the fact that it's only 50 minutes from Melbourne
Well, that's the big thing.
is
right?
the big. So logistically, it's not hard.
Yeah, absolutely. There is plans to build an 80-room hotel here
wow.
over
Okay.
the next couple of years, which obviously if you're coming out from Melbourne for a day trip, that's great. But to come out from Melbourne and stay for a few days and then explore all the other different things that are happening here in the region, I think is really good.
Sure. Also, Indians do a lot of destination weddings these days. It's a big trend, so maybe this could be one of their destinations once the hotel comes up.
Absolutely. There was a Hindu wedding here on last week, actually.
Really?
Yeah, 200 people. They got married downstairs, drinks and canapes in the gallery downstairs, and then actually, the rest of the ceremony in the event space. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
definitely a big thing, right?
Wow. So you're familiar with the marriage tradition of Indians.
Yeah. They had like a little setup outside. Yeah. It was great.
Thank you so much for your time, Tony. Truly a pleasure, and hoping that you get a lot more visitors from India at the Yarra Valley, and after your hotel comes up, a lot more destination weddings.
Yeah, perfect. We'd love to see everybody, and it's been really nice meeting you.
After the tasting at the estate, we head on to take the colourful vistas of Rayner's Orchard. A boutique pick-your-own-fruit orchard in the valley. Then we get a guided tour with Managing Director Viresh Kavirmat.
All right, let's start the tour. All of these trees are pomegranate trees. All right, this is the first stop. We are going to pick some Inca berries. Kinder surprise. The kids love this. Are they good? Very good. Next up, we'll just walk to the next row and we'll pick some plums.
Plums.
Mariposa. These are Mariposa plums. Just give you for taste.
So Mariposa is the technical term to plum.
Correct. So in the plums, there are different varieties. Are they good? With the plums, the softer they are more sweeter. So you have to pick the fruits high up in the trees, and they should be soft and they should be dark looking. They are the light ones.
So can I try to tell you which ones I think?
Yes, definitely.
Darker and softer are riper.
Correct.
Correct?
Alright, so now we are going to pick some figs over here. So we put the necking because we want to protect the fruits from the birds. I'll cut it for you.
For sure.
We depart Rayner's Orchard and head south to Mornington Peninsula. And arrive at the luxurious hotel Jackalope. Finally, it's dinner at their hatted restaurant, Doot Doot Doot, before turning in for the night. Next morning, we begin with a relaxed dip at the Peninsula Hot Springs. Followed by a conversation with the founder and owner of the springs, Charles Davidson.
Let me begin by asking you, what was the inspiration behind setting up Peninsula Hot Springs, and why you chose Mornington Peninsula as the ideal location?
Peninsula Hot Springs was established as a result of me living in Japan and having visited a hot springs called Kusatsu in the mountains of Japan, and feeling the beautiful nature that was there. The trees were covered in snow, and when I lay in the hot water, I just thought, why don't we have this at home in Australia? It was a chance conversation while I was still working in Japan that I found out that there was hot water deep underground here. My family's got a long connection here. We've been here since 1842, so I'm a 7th generation in Australia. And this was like our family home, and we've always had land and lived down here. So it was just a chance. At Peninsula Hot Springs itself, we have two main areas. We have the bathhouse and the Spa Dreaming Centre. Spa Dreaming Centre is for adults, and it's much more that sort of calm, relaxing place. And the bathhouse is an area which is for families, it's for the whole community. It has about 70 different bathing experiences. We have saunas and hammams, reflexology walks. We have amphitheatres, music areas. We have 3 different food outlets on the property. So it's a holistic wellness escape destination with hot springs at its heart.
Charles, how do these bathhouses promote connectedness to community?
2 things that are wonderful here. All the pools are beautiful and safe. They're nice and warm and comfortable. The place is very social, so you can come with families, and you find that a lot of Indian travellers actually come with their extended family and with their parents and their kids, and that multi-generational guest is really good here. What you've also got in the near area, the Mornington Peninsula, as it says, is a peninsula. It's surrounded by water in 3 different areas, and it's on the gateway of Melbourne. So it's about an hour from Melbourne, but it's got a bay, it's got the ocean, and then it's got a second bay, the Western Port Bay. It's got everything in there from mangroves to ocean where you can go. It's a bit dangerous, but you can go surfing. So you have to be very careful if you do go down there. We have beautiful wildlife. You can go and see kangaroos. You can, if you like playing golf, there's lots of different activities. You can go sailing on the bay, and there's very flat, safe beaches. So there's many things to do in the area, not just here. So we encourage our guests to do more than just visit us. We love them to visit us, but we also love them to see more in the environment around them.
For me and my audience, give us a sense of what Indian tourists can expect if they come to the Peninsula Hot Springs.
I would just love to say we love our Indian guests. We get more and more Indians. We have a huge population of people who have originated in India and now have become Australians. Australians are accepting of people from all over the world, and I've travelled to India many times, not that many, 4 times, and I can't wait to get back there because it's such a beautiful country, and I think you'll love coming here as well.
Later, we head to Point Leo to see the world-class experience that mingles food and art. We also catch up with the general manager, Roger Lancia.
Give me a sense of what Point Leo Estate is, a background, and of course, give me the lay of the land.
Absolutely. So Point Leo Estate is part of a large 330-acre property.
Okay.
But the section that we're in is the Point Leo Estate Sculpture Park. So we're a 16-acre sculpture park, the largest privately owned sculpture park in the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh, wow.
So we're just under approximately $100 million worth of art in this little area here.
$100 million?
$100 million worth of art, yes.
What are the kind of offerings for visitors?
For visitors?
Yeah,
Absolutely. So aside from the park itself, We also have this incredible building that has a cellar door that speaks to the vineyard, and we have 3 incredible dining spaces. So it starts with our little wine terrace, a little casual drop-in wine terrace where you can have an incredible lobster roll or even just a bowl of fries, right? To our dining room, our principal dining room that seats 100, 120 people. It's opened every day of the week, and it focuses around our incredible wood-fired oven. So this dining room is very much the heartbeat of the culinary side of our business, and we focus as much as we can on local produce.
What's the kind of traffic you're currently seeing from, Indians per se?
Yeah, well, we're seeing a real growth, funnily enough, in Indian visitation. We're visited quite frequently by Melburnians, and Melbourne, Victoria is incredibly multicultural. So we see quite a diverse range of people visit us. But visitors coming, people of Indian descent that have migrated in Australia, and they bring visiting family and friends.
Sure.
We seem to be one of the destinations that, that they must show people when they visit Australia.
Just understanding the difference between the region here
Yes.
and the Yarra Valley.
Yes.
I'd like some, perspective on that.
Absolutely. So the biggest difference between the Mornington Peninsula and the Yarra Valley is the water.
I see.
So the Mornington Peninsula comes into a point. So behind us is Western Port. On the other side of Red Hill, so up over the ridge, is Port Phillip Bay.
Okay.
And then just behind us there is Bass Strait. So next stop, Tasmania, right? So we have so much water around us that it actually makes it much, much cooler of an evening. So both regions are classified cool climate regions.
Okay.
Both regions predominantly grow Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, but we find that the Pinot Noir and Chardonnay from the Mornington Peninsula is just slightly different. So you can taste the difference between the two wines. And there's amazing producers in the Yarra Valley, and amazing producers here on the peninsula as well.
Well, lovely. I mean, I can't thank you enough for hosting me here.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for making the time.
And thank you so much for taking time out and speaking with me and giving me that perspective.
It's
Super
a
meeting
pleasure.
you, Roger.
It is
Thank
so
you
lovely
so much.
meeting
Thank you so much.
And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much. And I hope after this, a lot more Indians come and explore this
we look forward to
absolutely
it.
fantastic piece of land. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, we head on to the crossing at Sorrento to onboard the car ferry for Queenscliff to take us towards the Great Ocean Road. The next day, we find ourselves on a glorious route on the Great Ocean Road to see the unmatched panorama, accompanied by Damien Serentonio, the owner of the Great Ocean Road Resort.
What would you tell Indians who usually just drive to and do this drive? What's on offer for them if they have to do, let's say, a couple of days
Yes.
on the Great Ocean Road?
So obviously we always promote the major highlights, which is, the scenic Great Ocean Road, which is, a spectacular drive, and the 12 Apostles.
Sure.
But the advantage of when you can stay multiple nights is getting, seeing more wildlife. We know that you need market.
Enjoy.
Love.
Yeah.
And the 12 Apostles, getting there either earlier in the day or later, which is better for photos. Wildlife is generally more active in the mornings or at night. Just the small things as well. From my experience in Travellers Love is, we're very fortunate here that we've got beautiful clear skies. So seeing the stars at night and going a walk along the beach, feeling the sand on their feet, looking at the stars, hearing the sound of the waves. You don't get that experience when you just stay in the city and you come down for a day trip. We've also got beautiful
restaurants in the area, and we're seeing a growing trend of Indian travellers, especially those who are well travelled. Yes, Indian food is imported throughout their itineraries, but it doesn't necessarily have to be for every meal.
Absolutely.
So I think that ability to, or the option to try some local cuisine is, and we've got some beautiful restaurants in our region. We're going to go to the next stop, which is Teddy's Lookout.
As a final hurrah, we soared at dusk over the 12 apostles in an exhilarating helicopter ride to discover coastal vistas. A marvelous note to end our whirlwind adventure in the Australian state of Victoria.